Alright guys, I am back. I finally got my computer working. Yes. I guess it's kind of it's sort of bad when you play at a garage or something. I am doing my video in the garage, like really in a garage. So let's do it, guys. I want to finish this game. And thank you guys for all your support. Without you guys, I probably wouldn't be doing this game. I mean, this is what, probably part 21? This is like the 21st hour, maybe even more, that I'm doing this game. So, before we begin, let's check our meters. Zachary's still more better. Rebecca and Isabella is fine. So he is. I think he's pretty good with the path that he's going. But you know, with even, was it 3 parts in, we're only even, what, like 1/8, 1/10 the way into the story? Holy crap, Ashton. Holy crap. Alright, so there's gonna be a big fork here. There's something dangerous over here. But the nice thing is, we're finally moving on from everyone's storyline onto the building up. So, let's go. It's better than rush over to Zach's place. We're assuming Rebecca's whereabouts and finding out what they're not where I've guessed they should be. Assuming the worst will come next, which I'd rather avoid this early. Any other reason, I wouldn't bother them. But emergency begs for urgency. This is one, right? Even if it isn't. Anxiety from the concerned dull judgment. Something I almost certainly can't afford to lose at any given time, especially right now. Any means to calm it down will do wonders for the muddled mess my mind's already in. YYM? What the heck? Pulling out my phone, I thumbed through the screen until it ends up with a group with only Zach, Rebecca's, and Isabel's number listed. Other people will probably say I've kept too few friends when they chance on this. When they chance on this, to some extent, is true. I can easily name about 100 people I have acquainted through the years. Colleagues, blockmates from uni, neighbors, those sort of people. They all come and go. But these three have chosen to stay for some reason, without wanting or asking for anything. Unlike the others, none has Zach's kindness, Rebecca's patience, nor sincerity in Isabella's eyes. One day, these guys are just there. The next I know, being with them eases it. That heavy, sober feeling lingering in the air when you're staying alone in your apartment was something as simple as spending your day off without anyone. I'll say it's loneliness, but it's carrying much more depth than that. If I can help it, I don't want to lose any of them to some stupid curse. A phone call may be the least comforting thing at the moment. Honestly, I prefer being in the same room with them right now. But I'll take what I can get. Becca first. She'll get angry at me for worrying about her. She isn't a helpless damsel in distress after all. She isn't the shy girl I knew when we were children. We're already far from people we were back then. But that's more than enough reason to check in on her. Yeah, she's pretty safe, I'll say. She's the only one that I ever fought back at a ghost. Her damn textbook, man. Those are dangerous. I don't have to imagine her taking anything hit on. She'll do it instead of asking for help when she needs it. I don't care if she gets mad at me, if only to know that she's fine. A ring in the signs in the hallway. The sounds alone might as well shout me out to pierce through my ears. Another second passes, 2, 3, but when on the 9th ring, it goes straight to voicemail. A cold feeling instant lodges in my stomach.
Rebecca Gales here. You've reached my voicemail. Sorry if I can't get to you right now. Oh, and if this is Isabella, yes, you're free to reheat the food in my fridge. Otherwise, leave a message.
Probably just busy, that is all. Though I barely manage to keep my voice even when I speak.
Hey Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
We need to talk. Alright. Crap. I know, I have to do this, alright? I have to adjust the volume up, so that's why it goes off the screen a little bit. Becca will be alright. It's alright. She's safe. She's with someone else. In the event that woman shows up, she'll have someone with her. Someone she'll be able to ask for help. She's safe. She can handle herself. Becca might have a fury temper, but she knows when she's faced with something she can't handle herself. Rebecca will see my missed call and she will call me back. Though I don't express it enough, Rebecca is someone considered important to me. Oh my god, that is so cute! She's been my friend for the longest, far too long that anybody else would have been fed up with me and left. That girl stuck by me, no matter how big a jerk I've been. There's Zach and Isabella now, too, of course. I've always been thankful for having them around. The worst time before, however, Becca was there. No one believes it when I say it, but I've surely had my awful moments as a bratty kid and a horrible teen. Issues have been too many to count and refuse to deal with for a time. At least, that's what Andrew likes to tell me. I tend to think about nothing of it. It had mellowed down over the years, thanks to Professor mostly. But at the time, I do wonder if this still burns me the way it did all those years ago. After all, I was terrible, especially around the time of my parents' separation. Looking back now, I had no reason to wreak out my frustration towards everyone else. While I wasn't a kid who lashed out at anyone, preferably keeping myself and turning those negative feelings to more productive things. Good for you. I've grown distant from a lot of people because of it. From my own friends back in old school and neighbors I've been hanging out with before moving on. A habit I've likely brought with me into adulthood. I was just so angry with everyone and everything, and I kept thinking about was myself. Wonder why me? In retrospective, I was a selfish little bastard who thought the world revolved around me, that I shouldn't have been going through it. I believed my behavior was entitled, that I had the right. Tough times, but when she stuck with me, snapping out my little sulk, as she phrases it, whenever she sees the chance to bring it up. She didn't tolerate bullshit, but she didn't leave me alone either. If anything, the whole thing made her stick around. Her concern may have grown a bit overbearing as the years went by, but she's still old friend nevertheless. I owe her a lot. That won't change.
Damn it. Where are you, Becca?
Another message on voicemail. Then on my third call, I hang up. For the time being, I can't do anything more than wait for her to return my calls. Worrying aimlessly won't get me anywhere. Zach, on the other hand, that guy attracts trouble no matter how much he tried to avoid it. Doesn't help he hasn't been too hot lately with a lot of people. His mention of playing yesterday doesn't sit too well with me either. He might be the next responsible adult after Rebecca, out of the four of us, but I've still got to check on the big guy. Make sure he's doing okay. At the very least, whatever he has planning on doing. All I'm asking is not be idiotic. He's a sensible guy, I'm sure. However, desperation clings and pushes people to do things. Rational or irrational, it doesn't matter. Clear thinking flies out the window the moment you're in danger, and I sincerely hope he has not found himself in a tricky situation. His phone doesn't even ring before he answers, well, his voicemail at least.
Hey, it's Zach. Well, a voicemail anyway. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, just leave a message, yeah? And no, Ash, you're not allowed to lockpick your way into my apartment again. Just do what any other decent human being does and call if I'm not around. Thanks.
Did he turn it off? Why? I don't want to assume the worst yet, but maybe he has forgotten to charge it? Can't be. The guys can be a Boy Scout even more than I am as a cop. He's the type who always has extra battery or a power bank in his bag if he ever needs it. And he always does. He won't say anything or brag about it, but he's got quite a roster of VIP freelance clients. He won't just leave his phone dead because he's on field, particularly when people will likely be looking for him. He always leaves his connection open whenever clients or his friends need him. Exactly reliable like that.
Why isn't anyone answering?
His mobile is out of the range area sounds more plausible, although the thought of it doesn't completely shake out the unease. Unlike Rebecca and I, he took the time to listen to what Isabella said, and even if he didn't believe it, he was definitely the first one to offer help or try to do something. If he ends up in trouble doing whatever it is, so help me, I'm going to. Well, it can be rash, I'm aware of that. Been running the same reminder in my head since last night. But if something happens, certainly my reaction won't be pretty. The added guilt from those times repeatedly dismissed him would surely haunt me.
Yo, Zach, call me back, alright? I wanted to check in and, yeah, just please call me back.
It's unusual for the joke between us when I say he's the Watson to my Sherlock. I don't see him as my assistant to put aside until he's needed. Like some people like to believe, though, he's not some pity friend I keep around to make myself look good.
If anything, he's the one who stayed by me out of pity.
Zach's the one who put up with me most of the time, even when he doesn't need to. It's not a case of cool cop when helped by the minority. In truth, I was a hard-headed, hot-tempered, and reckless rookie. Up until I met him, it wasn't anything sudden, and some part of me is still that rookie. But I've grown, thanks to him. He's tempered that part of me. Considering how much our first impression went, I'm lucky he stuck around. Becca and I may have spent a lot of years together as children, but Zach, he's probably the closest thing I've called a best friend. Though it's more than a camaraderie. How do you spell it? How do you say it? No words can express. He has my back, and I always have his. He's a brother I've never had the luck of ever having. Only child.
And I have every reason to worry about my brother.
Oh, man. Becca's neighbor did say she wanted to meet with someone. No specific names. If I'm wrong, she's not with Professor Clark. Maybe it's with Zach. They've never been close, but it's not the kind of awkward friendship where meeting together remains out of the question. Regardless, I continue to dial his phone another 3 times, but I've done with Becca's. In the end, after a third attempt with no one answered, I stopped and moved to cut the call with a ragged exile.
Waiting game it is then.
I've been trained for those. Hell, I'm used to them. Just not when it comes to people I'm close to. Much as I'm reminding myself to maintain a level head, it's a whole different matter when someone you know. Personal feelings will likely get involved at some point. It's starting now, actually, with the anxiety string coiling and uncoiling, causing a racket inside my stomach. And that's exactly a line finally connects. Before he even speaks, my question already slipped out, including every pin up worry and tension in my body.
Where are you?
The hell? The line's choppy, although I can make out the word he's saying. Nothing to worry about then. It's just some place where network coverage is shitty. Can't imagine where he's at this time of the morning though. Did he go out for a jog?
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that? Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zach, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
I've meant that to sound as friendly as possible, to keep things light at least. Instead, only the frustration shows in my tone.
Good morning to you too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you.
Oh God, this is where we saved Zach. Remember the time where I got Zach killed, and you guys like, no, I got Zach killed. I gotta go back and save Zach. I was like, yeah. So I'm back and save Zach.
I thought you'd be.
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even...
Please don't tell me that's his plan. A morning visit to the mansion where Luke Wright is. Of all picking thing to do right now, it's the best thing he can come up with. Breaking and entering? I've got plenty of reasons to rail him right now. Although no matter how much I want to give him a piece of my mind, unfortunately, it's not the time.
No, wait. Just get your ass to Isabella's place and hurry.
He pauses for a moment, and a second indecision while he seemed to contemplate his options.
How urgent is this?
In truth, the question, the hesitance, and the indecision in his voice has caught me complete off guard, and understanding dawns on me. His decision to go there isn't the one born out of a stupid impulse. He must have found something. However, no matter how urgent it is, he still shouldn't have gone there, alone at that. Despite myself in a split second of comprehension, I allow it to show a weakness. A simple request bringing every unease and disquiet caused turmoil within me since last night. It bears a selfish hope that he'll understand, even though the unstable signal that whatever is keeping him there, he will be willing to set it aside for now.
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here.
That's right, Zach, we're saving you. Get your ass over here.
Please, Zach.
Place. Silence fills the other end of the line again. For a long moment, I assume he won't need it, and I have to drive there myself, just to drag him away from whatever danger is skirting it. Thankfully, he agrees.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two tops.
Thanks. I'll see you.
Relief washes over me as soon as the call ends. Normally, I don't let myself a moment of respite in time like this. Gotta stay alert. Rebecca's still out there. Has yet to return any of my messages. For the moment, I relish it in it. This is probably the first time I permit myself to do so since last night. Even the muscles in my shoulder have been complaining from all the tension I've taken on. It still annoys me that I can do right now, scrape my teeth and trudge back to Isabella's apartment. Useless. That's why I'm in the face of this. A mad dash around Luxembourg and Anselm isn't going to help things. It's not like I'll simply stumble across them on the side of the road during the drive. The city is too big a place and one person to go search about for only 2 people. I'll be lucky if I even glimpse on a hair of either of them. Now, I got a question. Does the character really think of all this? Like, all this in a split of second? Isn't the author being too descriptive? With one last hope glance towards the open sky, I slid back to Isabella's apartment and closed the door behind me. I'm already grown used to this, but the waiting will always be the hardest part. More so when it's the people you care about.
You're up early. I thought you left.
Oh, Isabella's awake. It's not the first time I've seen Isabella like this. Standing casually by her kitchenette, a ladle in hand, keeping an eye on whatever's stewing on the stove, while humming a soft tune under her breath. 5 years ago, it had become a common sight after the 3 of them, including Zach and Rebecca, found a mutual interest in cooking. After that, whenever our schedule allowed it, one of them would invite everyone to dinner or lunch instead of eating out. Rebecca prefers it that way. Healthier, she claims. Zach is too happy to be able to cook for everyone. Isabella, on the other hand, as long as there's food, she is happy. Me? I've been banned from the kitchen ever since the pressure cooker incident. Easier times, good times. Right now, however, the scene brings an odd sense of normalcy, a strange feeling with all the things going on around us. Not unwelcoming, only bizarre, I suppose. Isabella doesn't follow on her question earlier, but she does raise an eyebrow my way when I take too long to answer. For that, I only offer a casual shrug in response in a short answer.
I've checked with Zach and Rebecca. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
I'll add in a quip or two for her. If the timing for a joke isn't off or doing so won't be appropriate, I don't want to alarm her either. There's no reason for that. There is no reason to yet. Until Zach gets here, or until I receive the answer from Rebecca, which comes first. Nevertheless, it's clear she has plenty of questions. It's right there in the subtle creases between her eyebrows and the inquisitive gleam in her eyes. Curious as she is, though, she decides to voice all her questions out. Instead, she shifts her attention back to the stove and gestures vaguely with her hand in the couch's direction.
Well, if we're going to wait for them, don't stand around there. It's getting distracting.
You're just cooking. How am I distracting?
I don't know. Something might explode again, maybe. Zach's kitchen ban for you is also in effect here, you know. Now shoo, go. Stop hovering. You'll ruin the food. I'll be done here soon.
She leaves no room for arguing by swatting the ladle at me, and just like that, I've been kicked out of the kitchen. Left with nothing else to do, I drift back to my tiny living space and slump down on the couch. Closing my eyes, I allow the noise from the television to guide my thoughts. The ones I've been keeping at bay, freeing them from the cage I built around them, so I won't have to think. One by one, they trickle me back to my conscience, each more frightening and unnerving than the other. So many things going on, so many things happening. The paper we have gotten from BRC doesn't provide any comfort either. Seriously, Is there even a point to those after last night? What would I ask those people do? If anything, this only prove there might be more copies of a dumb piece of paper. We have one here, but how many exactly is there out there? More importantly, how do we get it out of this stupid mess?
Ashton.
Damn it, I haven't felt this kind of bone-weary exhaustion in years.
I don't want to think what might happen next in case I miss something. Shit.
Rebecca, Zach, Isabella.
They're all depending on me, and
Ash!
The voice snapping out my thoughts, abruptly wiping away everything running a racket inside my head. Suddenly, Isabella's there, crouching in front of me when I crack an eye open. I haven't even noticed the exact moment, but I bend over and bury my head in my hands. Figure why she's staring at me like I've fainted or something. Those creases on her eyebrows grow deeper at my lack of response. Although she's merely staring at me, without saying a word, her expression says everything. So much for trying not to alarm her with bad news.
sorry, I just spaced out for a moment. Don't mind me.
For a brief moment, she seems to accept that. Quietly, she shifts, stands up, and takes an empty space right beside me. All done without a single comment. Then the next thing I know, she's gently pushing a bowl in my hands. Oh, what the heck is that? Seriously, is that cereal? The scent reaches me first, and I've gotten used to the chance to take in whatever she has just handed me. A faint, sweet smell of cocoa swafts. Oh, okay, found the dish. Calming, comforting, despite the multitude of things bothering me. It certainly smells like kind of food that you eat on a rainy day. Though, from the get-go, it doesn't look as appetizing. What is this even? That's what I'm saying! That just has to be cereal. Porridge? What would you put chocolate in it? And milk drizzle on top? She tells me my tastes are weird, but yet here she is, handling something equally as strange. In fact, she's already starting digging in hers. I'm just not sure if the taste will be equally as appealing. Baffled, I glance her way. She offers no immediate answer. She simply continues eating as if she hasn't done so in a week, with the focus solely on television. She's not watching, however, just listening. As a background noise, the voice from it seems too cheerful. A welcome distraction, if anything. If only after she has finished off. It's only after she has finished off half her bowl that she acknowledges the question in my eyes. With a sigh, she cradles the dish on her lap and looks down at it. Briefly, her lips apart and then closes. A hesitation, though I don't push her. There's a distant eye on her, as if she remembers something that warrants it. Now you can pronounce that word. Poignant thought? I'm pretty bad. When she speaks at last, it's a tone too careful, like she's still weighing her words, considering the proper phrasing for it. Yet, sincerely underlines each syllable once they are out in the open.
You should eat. Back at home, Mama would never let us leave the house if we hadn't eaten breakfast yet. Even Papa has got an earful when he tried. So eat. You'll need it.
She returned to her food afterwards, while I can only stare at the one she has proffered not a few minutes ago, warm against my hands, tempting me to take a bite. Not that I don't appreciate this, but what good would this do? Zach and Rebecca both out there. Who knows when the ghosts will show up again? Even in our dreams, we're not safe. But that's it, isn't it? We don't know when, and at present, we have a chance at respite. Maybe the only one we'll have, even if it's a mundane as sharing food between us quietly. Just sitting side by side like this without exchanging any words. The tin hangs unspoken in the air, something that probably goes as far back as the second she offered food. Still, in the end, Isabel never pushes it. Rather, she lets her own silence convey her hope. You should take her offer. I mean, who wouldn't? Take her offer.
Thank you.
Aha! Aha! words roll my tongue, awkwardly unfamiliar, far removed from those jests and quip we have shared. Yet she accepts with a smile and nothing more, regardless of everything left unsaid. The signer brings a relief, more so than any generous offer of food can give. Though we both lapse into silence after, as we finish our food, there's ease in it. In the muffled sounds of Luxembourg filtering into the room, and the light streaming from her windows and the faint drafts occasionally drifting in, catching the loose tendril of her hair. And the way her voice falters, and when she tries to form words, and despite the horror looming over us, I found myself wishing for the minute to slow, for the second to last. But ultimately, she's the one who breaks it, softly after a minute pause, and words mumbled under her breath. Sometimes silence simply compels us to speak.
I've been wondering, before last night, before Mama told me the news, what if Papa passes away, despite everything? That sort of thing. I know it's not good to think about, but I also knew it was getting worse. Mama won't say anything, but I've always known that one day, he'll eventually.
Everyone will pass eventually. That's why you should treasure the moment you are in right now. Even if you're fighting with your loved ones, you should treasure that moment. I mean, just think about it. You might be pissed off at the moment, but then after you calm down, have a really good thought or something, because you're gonna regret it later if you don't make peace. That's just from my experience. She released a cinder as her grip on the bowl she still holds tight. There are no tears, but she might as well have them with how weak her voice falls. Are there even any left?
I don't know what I'm going to do. Before, I can easily say it's because of Papa. Now, I don't have anything.
You have your French.
You have that scholarship from Lux U.
Were you going through my personal papers while I was sleeping last night?
I don't really have to. You left it sitting in the open, right there on the table.
Like there's anything to hide, she snatched it away from where I placed it back earlier. Except there's no anger or annoyance in her face when she looks at it and reads every line with a pensive expression. After a short while, she folds it neatly along the creases and sets it back.
I don't even know if this will work out.
Well, if it doesn't, what about that exhibit you've been planning with Zach?
Do I even have to ask where you got that?
Zach sucks at lying. You have no idea how easy he is to read. It was all in his face when I asked about it. And anyway, if that doesn't pan out too.
I trail off, hesitating, measuring the weight of my next words. Genuine as they are, a part of me believes that they are a burden, too heavy to impose upon her. Because no matter how much I want her to stay, we're not what ties her here. It'll be selfish to ask that of her. More than anything, her family will always come first. You could be her family, Ash, if you work hard enough, right? If we work hard enough, we can do it. But this is Rebecca. We'll see how it goes, alright? When the choice comes to that, we'll decide. I'll say it nevertheless, if only to let her know, no matter what her choice will be, there will always be people whose lives her mere presence has changed. Mine, most of all.
You.
Oh, he's blushing.
You have us.
The words startle her to a pause, and slowly as she turns to me, her eyes wide, disbelief all over her face. But before regret forced an apology off my throat, her expression dissolved to something I can't quite place. Something distinctly softer, more tender, familiar, although in the same manner she glanced at me years ago, that day at the bridge. However, I don't get the chance to figure out what it all means for her. Suddenly, a knock breaks the moment, and just as fast, both our attention shifts towards the source. Before things get awkward fast, I stand up to open the door while murmuring some flimsy excuse in the process.
I'll get that. It's probably Zach or Rebecca.
Really? I know we're in a pinch, but the timing couldn't get any worse. Can't get anywhere. A related frustration aside, once I flinged the door open, a whole chunk of the stone that has been stuck in my pit of my stomach simultaneously unseated itself. Hey, Z-Man! What's going on? He's like casually like this. There in the hallway stands Zach, his hand raised already for another knock. Although he's not at his most presentable at the moment, ruffled and drenched with sweat as it is, relief quickly washed over me like a tide. He is still painting when he pushes me aside and hits in. The second his feet cross the threshold, he skins the place, eyeing what little he can see of the room from the doorway. When he finds none of what he's looking for, he turns to me with a questioning look, one that has a hint of panic in it.
You said it was urgent. Did anything happen? Is it Becca? Bella?
Everyone's fine.
Oh boy.
Well, Becca's not here. She went somewhere this morning and hasn't answered any of my calls yet. But Isabella's...
I'm here, Zach. Morning.
His weight shifts at the same time. The stiff line in his shoulder eases once Isabella walks to us and welcomes him with a smile. He relaxed it, returning her greeting kind. As soon as he let out the breath that he has been holding and the tension finally off his body.
So, nothing's wrong? Why'd you call me here for then?
My explanation can wait. He has a lot of explaining to do. The fact he went to Islam alone, for some godforsaken reason, warned a proper one. Ghosts or not, he's already been given a warning. It frustrated me to no end as he might be the plan he mentioned the last time we spoke. I get he's worried about Hannah, right? Somehow they've become friends, but that's not the issue here. Not when there's a murderous ghost who might go after one of us at any given time. Sure, Zach made him one piece, but by some dumb luck, he's alright, and this takes one off the list of people I need to worry about. Frankly, as annoyed as I am, I can't just say I'm angry at him when I look at the situation that way. Hell, if that call didn't connect at the exact minute, there might be a chance he won't be standing here. This is a blessing in itself. Though, the first things first, some things still need to discuss. Alright. Good check, okay. You're okay. Okay, cool. We got Zach all the way up. That's why we're on here. Except when I open my mouth, the only thing that spills from is my own relief. Despite myself, despite the rational part of my brain screaming everything wrong, and Zach's neat little plan. We had so many close calls within just a single night. Zach showing up at Isabella's doorstep, alive, whole, and unharmed. I might as well just take comfort in that while I still can.
You're okay.
You did tell me not to do anything stupid.
I damn sorry I killed you, Zach. Ugh. Suddenly the whole room feels too heavy and all I am able to do is drop down on the couch. Headaches also threaten to burst in the same moment, or perhaps this is what release from anxiety feels like. Regardless, I reach out a hand to pinch the bridge of my nose, even if it likely do nothing to alleviate the impending pain.
Christ, you were right there! We have this stupid curse thing going on, and you were right there! You just walked up inside a private property! Those people can easily sue you for breaking and entering, and that's the least of it.
I know, Ash. But I can't just leave things as they are. I've got to do something. I know you're not very fond of the rights, but they don't deserve it if something bad happens. Hannah most of all.
God damn it, Zach, I was worried.
Unexpectedly, he laughs. Not the half-hearted sort he makes when he's awkward or coming up with this excuse. A genuine one. Before my annoyance grows again, I snap at him, though he suddenly catches me in a headlock, his arm looping around my neck while he's grinning his knuckles around my skull. Helpless, I squirm under his grip and protest. Even then, it's hard to do so when you're up against a 6-footer.
Zach!
Aw, he's worried. Why didn't you say so? That cool act ain't gonna fool me anymore.
Man, I like Ashton. I don't know why.
Let go!
He relents soon enough, though after he's done ample damage to my hair, I hate it when he does that. But for a few moments there, the tense mood finally lighted up and everything felt like how it used to before this whole mess began. Makes appreciating little moments like this easier, still.
Seriously, Zach, why are you even there?
Told you already. I was looking for you.
Why would I even go there?
Well, you mentioned a plan with Isabella here. I assume that's where you guys went, since that's where she found the letter. Sorry. I was really at a dead end.
The logic stuns me into silence to say the least. Then I remember his hesitance, the tone he has taken before agreeing to go here. And all at once, my anger from what he's done wanes. Partly, this is my fault for keeping things vague. I can't berate him for assuming that, when I've only left him with vague answers.
You could have called me.
I did.
I didn't receive any, and my phone was with me.
You're kidding, right? I was at it the whole night.
The whole atmosphere in the room changes in 2 heartbeats. Back again to the tension riddle once plaguing us. Zach stared at me like a grown nuthead. Then gradually he shifts his attention to Isabella. The expression on his eye questioning, asking for a confirmation. Like my word can be trusted, and that I'm holding against him. I can't even believe the thing come out my mouth these past few hours. Meanwhile, Isabella stays quiet. Has been like that for quite some time. She looked like she wants to disappear right now. Guilt, frustration, anger, fear, all the flashes fleeting across her face before it melts away under an expression of worry.
Please tell me he's joking. You were there?
No, we really didn't get any. Everything was quiet last night. But Zach, at BRC, Ashton and I saw...
She never gets to finish that.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
Oh, that
Beggars, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not
Broly,
lie.
phone
I'm a
rings
cool
again,
dude,
alright?
Pretty fly for an Asian
Owen
guy.
pauses, waiting. I
Sup,
pulled
I'm
up to
Ash
check
from
all
Deluxe
ID.
City. Beggars, watch out, can't
I'll tell her to
beat
get
me.
here as soon as she
Looking for
can.
trouble?
Excuse me.
Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
I just can't stand out ringtone, I don't know why. However, the tone she assumes isn't what I'm hoping to hear.
Ashton, are you there?
Rag with a bit out of breath. There's a tinge of urgency in it. Listening to her from my side, the line makes it seem that she has just run a marathon prior to this call.
Becca, where?
I got your message. What happened?
Nothing. Yet? Where are you?
Downtown. I had to make a quick visit to the library.
I almost got killed by her. Holy crap.
Listen, Ash, about that thing Isabella has been talking about. There's something you guys need to...
Please tell me you didn't... Whatever. Save it for later. I'm at Salemwell. If you can get here as soon as possible, that'd be really great. This is... related to that.
You're there? Is Isabella with you?
Yeah, Zach too.
With a quick press of a button, I switch on the loudspeaker and step back into Isabella's apartment. I hold the phone towards the two, giving the 2 shakes, urgent to speak. Both are still carrying worried looks on their faces. This should ease that.
Rebecca's asking for you two.
Becca? Is she okay? Hey, Becca!
Hello, Rebecca. Odd morning we're having, eh?
Hey, you two. What's happening over there? Is this something I should be worried about?
We'll tell you once you get here. Please, hurry.
I don't like the sound of that, Ash. But I'm on my way. Give me a few minutes. I'm driving.
She mumbles her goodbye, then hangs up. Becca's the last person I needed to count for, yet that call left even more strained tension in the room. Thankfully, we don't have to linger in it for too long. She only takes a matter of minutes to get here. In the second she steps in the room, Isabella clings to her.
I'm so glad you're okay. Ashton checked on you this morning, but...
Safe and sound, chief unlocked. Yeah!
He did? I'm sorry, I was in a hurry. I didn't have time to drop by and let you know.
It doesn't matter. What's important is you're here.
Not burned to crisp or brutally murdered somewhere else. Somewhere, whole alive, although she seemed a bit shaken. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. At least now I can relax, ease the pressure on my shoulders, if only by some. But the minute Isabella pulled her away, she winces. A small reaction the younger woman doesn't even catch it. It sets a precedence for careful observation nevertheless, A closer look at her reveals a much more disheveled than usual. Hair a bit of mess, probably flattened in a hurry. The back of her dress also shows the stains of a dirt place and it really gets into. She's also leaning more used on her left arm. She's right-handed. Perhaps the more telling is the slight limp she has, noticeable once Isabel lead her into the room. It all sprouts hateful questions. What exactly happened and how she ended up in that state? Pretty sure a simple trip to a library wouldn't do that. I grab her arm before she can walk past, carefully to avoid hurting her. In some case, there's really an injury. Seems like it at first glance, but you can't be sure until you have a careful examination that's been made. I suspect something bruising at least. Although a minor internal fracture on all the equation, they have a nasty way of staying hidden. Wake up! Wake up! Sure enough, Becca tenses immediately upon contact. Tries to pull back, although a sudden gesture only elicits another wince, forcing her and Isabel to a halt. Both of them turn to me almost at the same time, their eyes searching for mine for an answer. Rebecca, for her part, doesn't appear quite pleased with the interruption, or the fact that someone has brought it to a light. But still, I need to make sure. Man, there's a lot of branching. Let me check. All right, we're pretty high. You all right?
You okay? You're limping.
Holy crap! All right, we're doing great. As expected, she tries to hide it. This time, when she squirms from my grasp, it's enough force she almost stumbled back if Zack hasn't caught her by the elbow. Even with two more careful shooting at her concerned looks, she's swift to shock it off.
It's fine. I just had a little accident.
Little accident. Hard to believe when her arms nursing their supposed fine arm. Isabella doesn't buy any of it either.
In a library? Well, yeah, it kinda caught me off guard.
Something's happened there, hasn't it?
I don't have to elaborate on the question further. Surely she goes very still and the hand placed on her right arm shifts ever so slightly. It's the grip on the limb tightening. Not too firm to hurt, but just enough to gesture of comfort her for herself. Warily, she casts a glance at everyone in the room, but only when she's fearful Isabella lingers longer. In that moment, something unspoken passes between them. An understanding. It strikes me seconds later how utterly familiar her expression is. It's the same one I've been seeing far too many times in Isabella. Since that day at the movie house, every time her attempt to warn us has been so rudely dismissed.
Let me see.
Can we? We have to check if it's bad.
Rebecca hesitates for a moment. Then, with a minute of consideration, she signs to reach out for the hem of her sleeves, raise it up just for enough to Isabella to take a good look at it. Not swollen, but a large portion of her skin starting to turn with an ugly shade of purple.
Oh, that is gonna be one hell of a nasty bruise.
Tell me about it. It was a library cart that hit me. You know, the old metal ones they keep near the history section.
Ouch! Like I said, nasty.
But she's there? She went after you. Yeah, I was in the archives, looking something up. Suddenly, she was just there.
Wow, now they're openly talking about this. This is going another direction, man.
Well, she was using my own students against me. What kind of terrible person does that? Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Good book throw, by the way. Good book throw.
You should have just ran. That woman's not something you can hit with a book.
Laugh it up, Ashton. I did. Then the bloody cart came out of nowhere. And you know what? If it weren't for a damn book, I would be dead by now.
Science descends the room as the gravity of that one hit all of us. Dead. Another close call. Another one would have. Another one I have narrowly avoided. How long can we keep this up? We're bound to break at one point. No normal human being with the same mind can last like this. It's a miracle Isabella hasn't cracked yet. After all, she was the one who found that letter. I've expected her to cave in by now. Yet her voice, calm and composed in the face of this, is what cuts through the thick air.
I'll go get a cold compress for that arm. You guys take a seat first. Ashton and I, we have a lot of things to talk about.
That marks the end of it, at least for the time being. As soon as Isabel returned the hand and Rebecca the cold press she promised, we could get straight down to business. Surprising is enough, considering Richard in the room. Although there's some tense fumbling the words at first, the whole conversation gains steam once what happened last night at BRC has been put on the table. All at once, everything we've been brushed off, carelessly ignored, and really dismissed have been laid out for the close scrutiny. Zach's encounter with the woman in his dreams, Rebecca's close brushes with death every time she appears, the dread, the fear, the terror she brings out even as brave as us. Everything. Because no matter how bleak this all seems, there must be a way out of this. There has to be. Logic be damned. Or at least, that's what Isabella and I would have believed. Yet, even as the cold morning light shifts through the warm hues of the afternoon, and eventually night, none of this still make a fucking damn sense. Darkness has fallen, but we're still nowhere near to figure things out. If anything, we're more at a loss than we have ever been before we even started this. The next thing I know, frustration rears its ugly head, and then a sheet of paper I've been holding smacks on the table harder than I intended. The sound echo loudly in the smell room, and everyone simply falls silent. Along with it, it's a release of another long-held breath. Perhaps the hundredth since this morning?
We aren't getting anywhere at this rate.
Don't just drop it. There must be something in this we aren't seeing yet.
It's an odd thing to hear from her. The very words I've been telling myself every single time I find myself facing a dead end. We can use a little optimism right now, I guess.
I know, but what are we supposed to be looking at here in the first place?
Well, we already looked through those files. You're the one that picked it out last night, right?
All of them? I'm pretty sure every person we've checked in there isn't necessarily involved. One client possibly died of old age. Remember, you found that dumb paper.
Not so dumb if it can kill all of us.
Very funny, Z-Man. Anyway, like I said, you discovered that paper right before the open house. No one else was allowed inside during that time. It's too broad of a scope if we include every single person. In fact, the only notable ones are C and Jean Marie.
But if we're going to include them in the count, shouldn't there have been more than enough people to end this fucking curse already? How does this thing even work?
Yeah, okay. They went in and out of this place. But no, you still don't get it. What I'm trying to say about those clients is...
Shouldn't we look into the mansion too? That's where the letter came from. That's where she came from. Maybe it's just as the professor says. I mean, look at all this stuff Rebecca brought with her. Apparently our teachers have been lying to us all these years. So who knows?
Hey, now don't blame us. Blame the bloody books they wrote.
Quietly, Isabel reached for one of the papers Rebecca's brought with her and carefully inspected what's printed on the page. A copy of old newsprint from even before CD has been founded. Her eyes narrows on each line it passes, but linger on her illustration of the noble woman's servant.
Why do they have to keep this in the restricted section?
Rebecca merely shrugged her off at her inquiry, but her own annoyance seeping through for the answer.
How should I know? I wasn't even aware we have archives that go as far back as this. This is before the city was even founded. As a matter of fact, if it weren't for Andrew's help, I wouldn't have gotten my hands on any of it. Maybe they didn't think it would be important to talk about it. After all, this is more Anselm's than ours.
That or some old bugger's hiding something.
Why else would these tell a completely different story? Revising what's written seems a useless endeavor on its own when you have nothing to gain from it. But this might as well mean that what happened that I mentioned years ago also equates into all of this. And the letter Isabella found? It's at the heart of it. Does she still have that letter? The why and the how is what we're missing here. If I'm going to go by what Andrew told Zach, the connection between the letter and the Mansion's curse may run deeper than what we initially thought. We won't be able to figure this out without looking into the other. How do I? The Mansion's private property now. We can't just waltz in there. I'd rather die before I can even think about begging a right to let me in and investigate the place. One thing very clear after all the last 2 days, however, we're not safe anywhere, and I have to act fast if I want to keep my own friends alive. We can't keep running away. Sooner or later, she'll get us. Before that happens, I have to put it into this. Sighing, I stand up with a stretch, a lot of the kinks in my back after several hours of sitting. We've been at this for too long. A break is needed. Time to let everything sink in. What else will burn out? I know I will, and it's another thing I cannot let happen when they're all counting on me like this. A bit unspoken, it's in their eyes as they look up at me, waiting.
We've been at this since morning. We should take a break for a few.
Yeah, that's right. The rest of it never makes up my mouth as a heavy and grating sound from the far end of the room. It's harsh, booming noise rendering through the eardrums of everyone in the room. All at once, the three of them on their feet, and I quickly pull my shotgun on the table. However, before I can pull up and remove the safety, the whole racket stops. Stillness descends the room. In the midst of the sudden rush, the four of us exchange anxious glances. So much for break.
Ashton, that might be...
Gather everything.
Including crosses, right? Go like this at them. We even go like, this. Like that. Yeah? Let her know you mean business, alright? No question asked. They waste no time to get into work, piling up the documents we've been reading through. Even Isabel's unusual sign as she gathers everything in her arm. Her own movement is sharp and precise. A deep furrow in her brows. There's fear, but nothing hard and urgent overshadows it. But the moment doesn't last. Before he can even finish, another noise comes attention out gripping the place. Suddenly the lights go in and out, wardrobe at the end of the room rattles. I have something inside the bag for freedom. Cautiously, I go to it, I take a step forward and release the lock from my gun. I am no trigger-happy person. I'm not even sure if this will work on a ghost. But right now, it's a smooth surface against my palm. The trigger on my finger provides a closing and relief as I approach the closet.
Ashton, what are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea. We should just...
Worried as they all are, they immediately stop at the sight of raising my hand. But the edges stare while they all huddle in the space between the door and the room. In case this goes south, wherever I find inside, they have enough time to space run for their position. In 2 deep breaths, I've come across the room and stand in front of the closet. Whatever's inside has to stop thrashing. Instead, it has now moved to a bang at the door, louder and louder and longer daily. Another shallow breath. A glance at my companions. A nod. Something creaks, and then next moment, I'm grasping at the handles and swing the door open right up to reveal. I'm guessing someone's been sleeping in the closet. Nothing. Damn it! I want something to happen! Why did you do this to me? Right away, I parted the clothes hanging on it, and still none. No ghost. No woman. Not a single trace whatever. Whoever is inside. Confused, I glance back towards my companion, only to see them mirroring the same expression on my face. The noise had finally stopped, but I'm quite sure this isn't my imagination. Or maybe it is, I'm just too strong up on my head that's making things up now. Whatever the case is, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. The only confirm we aren't safe anywhere. Without bothering to close it, I move back, ready to leave, adrenaline now coursing through every vein in my body. In a second, I bark, the water's in.
We should go. Everyone, we need to...
What? I'm sitting sprawling on my back as something close catches my ankle and yanks. Oh hey, buddy! I've been waiting for you, buddy! The resulting fallback knocks the wind out of me. Pain rakes my whole spine to the back of my head as it collides against the floor, with a force enough to dislodge my own brain from my skull. A moment lasts before stars start fading away my vision, and then I sense it. A cold tendril twisting my ankle, the smell of vile knot or rot assaulting my nose. Nauseating, sickening, a foul smell dreaming every feeling in my body. The moment her horrid laughter, still as unpleasant and vicious as the last time I heard it, reaches my ear. My eye snaps open. Oh hey! How'd you like to play hide and seek? Don't be afraid as kids. It's just people like to play hide and seek. Perhaps just inexperienced. Take a good look at her. Well, maybe my mind still attempting to comprehend this. Regardless, the minute my eyes lands on her, the whole of my body freezes. The gun in my hand turns useless and my grip on it slackens. It's a manner her gaze bores on me, I'll say. The look of utter hatred and malice I've seen it lots of times. From suspects, mostly murders, who never regretted their action despite being caught. This is the fate of someone you can no longer reason with. And I know the moment she laughs again and started driving towards her, it's already going to be the—
Ashton! Snap out of it!
No! I can't die here! Not yet! The haze fades in my mind in this instant kicked in then and there.
Everyone out! Get out! Get out of here!
With a powerful talk, I yank my foot out of the grip and scramble back to my feet, ignoring the piercing wail she filled the room with. With a spin of a second, I'm gunning for the door, grabbing the wrist of the first person in my hand can reach, and leading everyone out. Into the hallway, down the flight of steps, and right inside my car. I waste no time flowing the gas pedal, and the second last person closes the door behind them. And a short while, driving us out of the steering wheel. I don't even entertain the thought of it winding it down just yet, even as the last of the woman's painful cries fade into the night. Oh, man. With dreary downpour start off the Monday, although it doesn't last long for more than an hour. The dark clouds lift just as the sun peaks over the horizon. Breathe as it is, the rain has significantly dampened the park's usual cheery vibe. Mornings like this often mark the start of another bad week. In the rest gone wrong, and an investigation lead to a dead end, was something truly fucked up shit being called in. Like that one time I was dispatched to a scene where a guy grows his own eyeball out and almost ate it. Wow. Was a few chew away from swallowing it, in fact, losing my dinner that
Fun
day.
times.
Of course, I doubt anything can top that, getting cursed by a damn chain letter of all things. This is the sort of stupid things people pass along as a prank, though. Through emails and text messages, for fuck's sake. A ghost chasing after you puts in the icing on that cake. So far, all we done is run, snooping about, read stuff, and run again. It frustrates me no end how we're still no close to an answer. Even my car reflects the state my mind's in. Photocopies of documents litter every available surface, scattered all over the place, spilling from the passenger side into the back seat, making an entire mess of what little space there is. Now, not that many better. My last shower was 24 hours ago. I haven't slept at all, and my last meal was chocolate porridge, thing that Isabella offered. The way I am now, I'll definitely get a scolding. Rebecca will definitely give me an earful and tell me to take care of myself better. Say that I'm killing myself on the job. What the heck is going on? What's all these story updates? I can already hear Isabella complaining how dark the bag under my eyes are getting, and about how I reek and how I need to shower pronto.
I can rest easy when this is all over.
It's not like I can feel the pain of it, the pain of hunger. With that woman chasing after you, it's difficult to not feel anything other than horror. The rush of adrenaline coursing through my veins and desperation to survive. In fact, I can still sense the ghost in her touch from last night. You like her touch, you, don't you, Ash? Her bony digital wound tightly around my ankle and that horrid smile she has on her as she pulls me closer. She wants you, Ash. The memory is enough to send me a shiver on my spine and makes me antsy. Perhaps the only thing comforting about this sight of my gun nearby. My dashboard, sunlight glints a Ophelia surface. Normally, I keep it in a compartment. Locks from police regulation by only allow authorized people to carry a firearm, and even those are limited. I do have the authorization, but I never really saw the need for its use. When the standard issue tasers are more than good enough to incapacitate anyone. If not, I can always throw them in their back. Those geo lessons Dad forced me to get as a kid has its uses too. What about everyone? Did you check with everyone? Did you? On the go, so all those probably yield the same results. They're all useless. I might almost use a stick. However, it's the feeling for if ease I'm after, or what little I can gather from it. The awareness that at least have something to protect myself with, in case anything goes wrong. I can still protect the people who are depending on me despite the misstep I've taken. It doesn't take the edge off though. The feeling of your whole body has been strained after beyond its capacity. Frankly, I'm already running steam. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? The only thing pushing me right now is knowing someone is still depending on me. A stretch is still in the water though. I've been sitting here since last night. Soon, I step out of the car, closing behind me with thought as I take my surroundings. The rain did wonders. The morning air feels crisper and cooler than it ever been in days. For once, the weather seems to be taking a turn for normal. Locks were normal in the distance, beyond the buildings lining the horizon. Dark clouds are blowing in.
A storm might be due this evening, give or take.
Shameful to feel looking around to Halloween tonight. Oh yeah, that's right, it's Halloween. Holy crap. Now just sure whenever this is something I can look forward to as well. Still, I bask in the change it brings. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in takes in peace, as if it's still my last. But as with all good things, the quiet shore comes to an end. Not necessarily a bad end. The chatter reached my ear first, halting my movements. Soon enough, when I glanced up, I found Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, just as they have entered the park grounds, back on convenience store foods in hand. After last night fleeing from Salemwell, we elected to stay the night here, unsure if our home will still be safe. Normally, we all be advised to idea of spending the night outside like this, but panic and distress has tainted that decision. Sounds like any of us has gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. On the off chance one of us did, it only lasts about a second. Or is it a fitful one? But looking at it right now from afar, it's easily mistaken for just a group of friends on a day out. Isabella gestures wildly with her arms as she talks. Something funny or amusing probably, because it was soon followed by Zach's booming laughter and Rebecca's giggles. The voice filled the atmosphere in the light air, temporarily easing out the disheartening mood. It's easier to pretend we're not knee-deep in a live or in-death situation the way they're acting right now. If anything, it's the only appearance that betrayed that masks. Slightly disheaved, back under the eyes, exhale curved in the shoulders, and dragging footsteps. But the closer they get, the more obvious these signs are to the naked eye. Zach tosses an energy drink in my way the moment distance allows it. Isabella hands me another bag she's holding, before seating herself on the edge of the fountain. Well, that looks good. The scent of warm food immediately wafted from the bag when I opened it, carried further by the passing breeze. Whatever sweet house that drizzles over this pork wannabe, it smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetable seems appetizing. Despite myself without even checking what exactly this is. Hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought, and I take it without waiting for them to start. The rest of them appears to be the same mind too. Soon enough, they have also started with theirs. No casual talk would fill our empty stomachs. Exhausted as we are, food is something we can't forego. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are to survive this, is that a typo? If we are to survive this, we are gonna have to take care of ourselves first. In a matter of minutes, we're done and dumping the empty curtains in the nearby waste bin, along with its ships and the mood. Back to dismal, back to the problem at hand. The comfortable atmosphere from minutes ago was nice and while it lasted. Immediately, I've missed those kinds of moments between us. We never had a chance, always busy on some project of work. The thing we're taking for granted, now we're realizing how valuable they are. The world has an awful sense of humor. While the other... Would you please just talk to each other? I want to know. While the ones we've just had a short-lived. It's another thing I want to look forward to. If we are to ever free ourselves from this damn curse, I like to believe there's a way. For now, we have to focus on the present. This. Dead people! The letter, the curse. It's nothing to bring these up but necessary.
What now? Where do we go from here?
It's not a question directed at anyone in particular, but they all look to me as my face has all the answer in the world. I used to think so. Back on the top of my game, I still short everything. So this is a good start for me. I'm gonna fall asleep. Let's look at the branching tree. There were a lot of blinking going off. See, like blinking, 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 blinking. Holy crap! Looks like we advanced a huge load. Like we skip all these cutscenes or something. I think we're doing pretty good. See all these blinking, blinking, blinking. Okay, cool. That's not a common route, isn't it? Story update. Alright, so you could either go very bad, since I'm at the top, so I get to skip all this too. So, we are making a really good progress here. So, Shisha level, pretty good. Alright, my goal is to make sure everyone survives. If everyone survives, I believe this is a good ending. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I catch some sleep. Yep. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you.